Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today, inshallah, we will explain how to control a character or how to prepare the character for being controlled by the player, how to write the needed script, and how to set the character with all the needed physics to enable the player to control the character in a professional way. Before I start, there are two ways of preparing the character for animation. The first one is by using the sprite, and the second one by using the animation files, like the creating an animation by a software like Animate, and then use the .fla.flash files in Unity. Today, I'm going to explain how to control a character, and the character will be created in the as a sprite sheet, not the animate or as an animation. As you see here, I'm going to use the Super Mario as an example. I'm going to use it to write in the script to control the Mario. Uh, Preparing the design for the game must be like this. This is what we call sprite sheet. First of all, the illustration must be without background. The arrangement must be balanced like this. And we need to put whatever you want, whatever we want, or what we need inside it. And then we can split it in Unity, or we can split it here. It depends uh, on our way of working. But as you see, we have, for example, here for Mario, the movement walking to left and right and jumping, swimming, sitting down, and here the character standing, we call it idle. We have the all the type of characters that usually used in in Super Mario game. Also the obstacles, the other objects we have them here. Also, we have all the animations for them. We can use them. And I'm going to explain how to create an animation by using this sprite in the next tutorial, inshallah. For this tutorial, we are going to prepare the physics and the scripts. But for now, I already cut it the Super Mario in the idle mode because I'm going to use this for now for checking the movement and the control. And as I said, in the next tutorial, inshallah, I will explain how to add the animations to the controls. That's mean when I move to right, the character will appear walking, not just standing. So let us start. I'm going to create a new project. I'm going to name it character 2D con and anim controller and animation. And then I'm going to hit on create. As I said before, I use the universal 3D because in the future we will work with 3D, but we are not going to use any 3D features for now, but I'm going to use it. And here, let me click on animate, on create, sorry. Okay, now let me import the what I'm going to use. As I said, I'm going to use the idle, one of them, and also I'm going to use a script because usually with the scripting, the complex things like animating a character or moving a car or something like that, we do not start from scratch because there is a prepared scripts we can use. We don't need to write the script from scratch for any character we want to move or any object we want to move. So here I'm going to import both of them for now. And as I said, the sprite, I'm going to work with them in next tutorial, inshallah. Let me hit on import. For the sprite, As always, I'm going to click for one time and then I'm going to change it from default to sprite as always. But here we have a single. In the future, we will work, inshallah, with multiple. But for now, we have single. And here, instead of normal quality, we can change it to none. But I'm going to keep it with the normal quality for now. And also here, I'm going to click on install 2D sprite package because I'm going to need it to work with it. So it's important to install the package to this project. If you open a new project, then you need to install it again. As you see here, we have, of course, I have, because Mario is an old game, we have it in low quality, but it will work fine with me. So here, let me check again. I have the sprite single and everything is prepared. Now what I need to do, I need to move here to the scene. I need to change it to 2D, and then I need to go to game object, 2D object, because I installed the sprite package. Now I can see these, and I'm going to select the physics, and here the dynamic sprite, or I can use the sprite, and then I can use the square. Let me work with that. Here I'm going to change it to change the name to player. And from here, I'm going to click and drag the sprite here inside. Because it is very tiny, I'm going to change the scale. I'm going to enable constraint properties. And then here, I'm going to change it to, let me check the 100. Okay, let me change it to 50. Let us use 25. Okay, let us make it 10. I can change the camera, but still a little bit large. Let us keep it 3. Yeah, this is okay. I have the player here. I added the sprite inside the sprite renderer. I'm going to minimize the window for the sprite renderer. And then the code I attached, I need to link it to the player. But before that, I'm going to add the physics material. First of all, I'm going to add the rigid body. Of course, rigid body 2D. And here I'm going to keep it dynamic. The collagen detection, I don't want it to be discrete. I want to detect the collagen all the time and in continuous way. So I need to change it to continuous. And here, sometimes with the collagen, the object, the rotation or the object might get rotated because of the collagen. I don't want that. So here inside the constraints, I need to freeze the rotation. And then I need to add the collagen for the volume. I don't need it now. And here, after I prepare the rigid body, I can hide the details and then add component, box collider. And here I'm going to add a box collider for the top bar and a circle collider for the bottom, the part at the bottom of the character. because the circle works better than the box collider, especially when we have, for example, a curve or a hill or anything that's not straight. When the character moves, then the box might make the character doesn't make sense like the circle. So here it's better to add another collider, but before that, let me fix the scale for the collider. Just make it zero point 0.2, and here 2.5. Let us make it 2, and here the offset, I'm going to drag it a little up, 3. And let us make it 6.5, like that. And then let me add another collider, as I said, a circle. And here, let me reduce the radius like this, and then seven. Yeah, this is better because the collagen now will be better, especially when the character pass through corner or a curve area. And then I need to add the script that I'm going to share with you. I just need to click and drag it here. And here at the top for the player, I need to change the layer here from default to, I need to add a new one. I'm going to name it player, enter, click on player again. I'm going to change it to a player, as I said. Why we need that? Because here inside the script, we need to define what is ground. It means what the object, the character is going to collide with. So here I need to define anything beside the character to clarify which of the objects that the character is going to interact with and collide with. So here, what is a ground? I need to select everything because I want to collect the character to collide with everything. But here, after I select everything, I need to uncheck the player because I don't want the character to collide with itself. And here we have something called the crouch disable collider. That's mean when I make this character set, I need to disable the collider at the top to make the character could move across the small area or between two things. So if this collider still exists, then the character will not be able to move across tiny areas. So here I need to drag the box collider to disable it once I click on keyboard and make the character set because I don't need it. I can drag it from here to here. And also based on the script needed to check whether the character on ground or not. Also whether the character hitting a ceiling or something at the top or not. In order to do that, I need to create an empty game object because the script will check the transformation. So here, what I'm going to name it, GR, short for ground, and let me place it at the top here. Doesn't have to be exactly at the top of the character. I need to duplicate CE, short for ceiling, and I need to place it down like this. And then I need to put them inside the player game object. Let me go back here inside the ground check. I need to inside the ground check, I need to drag the GR, and inside the ceiling check, I need to drag the CE game object like this. And of course, from here, I can increase the crouch, the speed of character sitting down, also the movement, the jump force. Also, I can increase it or decrease it, but I'm not going to manipulate or change these now. Once I finish the coding, the rest of the coding, then I might need to change these. But for now, as I said, I'm going to leave them as it is, as they are. And after that, I need to create a new script and link that script to the script I attached here and link to the player. But before that, of course, I need to add a ground, something like a ground. So here, I'm going to add to the object physics. Let me add static sprite. And here inside the sprite renderer, let me just change the color. And I have a rigid body, and the rigid body is static. And I have a box collider. Now I just need to let me check the game. Yeah, it's okay, but I'm going to increase the thickness like this. And also I'm going to make a duplicate and move it here. I'm using the WER to control, W to move the object, E to rotate, and R for scaling. And now if I hit on play, let us see what's going to happen. Yeah, everything is okay. Now I can start on the writing the script. Here I'm clicking on write and then create a new script, mono behavior script. I'm going to name it, for example, player movement. And then I'm going to open the new script. First of all, as I said, I'm going to link this script to the other script. So I need to define a variable and I need to attach the other script to this script to be able to control to link what I'm going to add here to the script I have at Unity. So here I need to define public character controller 2D, the type of the variable, and then I can name it, for example, controller. This is the name of the variable. And also, I need to define a variable for speed. I'm going to use also. I'm going to make it public to make it appear inside the Unity, and I might need to change it. So I'm going to make it public. And the type of the number, I'm not going to use integer, I'm going to use float. Run speed, the name of the variable. And here, let me give it an initial value, but focus with the float variables. I need to add a small letter F at the end of the number. Here, let me make it 40 for now, F and semicolon. And also, I need another variable, but I'm not going to use in Unity, so I'm not going to add public. float horizontal move. I'm going to name it like this, equal 0 f for now. The value is 0. I'm going to use this variable to move the object left and right. And also, I'm going to define two variables for jumping and crouching or sitting. And the type of these variables is pool. Pool we use in if statement. When we use the if statement, the output of the if statement will be true or false. If it's true, then the code inside the if statement, inside the begin and end, the two curly brackets will be executed. If it false, then the code will not be executed. So bool gives us 0 or 1, and 0 or 1 means true or false in Unity or in scripting. So here, the first one will be for jump, and I'm going to give it an initial value, false. And bool crouch also equal initial value false. I'm going to need these also. These to check that the condition of the object, because we want the script, but once the player click on space, for example, for jumping, then this will be changed to true, and based on that, the jumping will happen. And same for the crouch. And now inside the outside the update, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a new function, and the name of the function will be fixed update. No need for a private. In Unity, the most popular ones, most popular functions are the start and update. And we have another one called the fixed update. Fixed update in basically it works like the update, but not exactly same as the update works. The update works, it keep repeating the codes or the instructions inside. And also the fixed update does that. But the difference, the update repeating the instructions or the looping, it depends on the amount of codes we have and the amount of time needed to execute these codes and the effect of them on the Unity. But with the fixed update, the time for looping is fixed. It is not depends on the amount of coding and the effects of coding like the update. That's basically what is the difference between them. And usually with the physics, with anything related to physics, we use the fixed update. So here we are working with controlling a character. So we need to work, and the character contain physics like the rigid body and the colliders. So here we use the fixed update. We are going to use the update for other things related to moving the character, but here we use the fixed update to control the character. So here what I'm going to use, I'm going to call the script I defined here, the controller dot move. If you open the script, the controller script, you are going to find a script for moving the object left and right, up and down. And here I'm going to send the values or what I want to do. So here, the first one, moving the object left and right horizontally. So I need to call the variable I have here. So hori move, short for horizontal move, multiplied by time dot delta time. But because now I have the code inside the fixed update, it's better to use the fixed delta time. And the difference between delta time and time is similar to the difference between update and fixed update. We want to multiply the value of the horizontal move with the time, and also I need to send the other variables for sitting and jumping. So here I need to call the variables I defined. Why do I need to send these variables? Because I want to inform the other script and the system when the user clicked on the crouch on clicking to make the character sit or jump. So I need to send it here. And remember, this is connected to the other script we have. And here at the end, I am going to need another code for resetting the jump, but I'm going to add it after I write the code for checking the player interaction with the game. So here I need to change the value, because if the value of the horizontal move is 0, then if I multiply it here, it will stay 0. Also, it's now not connected to the user or the player interaction. So here what I need to do, I need to call the variable again, equal input dot get axis row to get the place of the character horizontally. And how to get it horizontally? Here between the two round brackets or parentheses, I need to write horizontal. I need to specify the axis and multiplied by, of course, the speed. I define it here. So here, run speed. So the value will be based on the axis of the based on the location of the character multiplied by the speed. And then I need to check whether the player hitting on space, for example, for jumping, or whether the player wants to make the character sitting. I need to check all of these. So here I need to use if statements. And as I said, between the two brackets in if statements, the value will be true or false. True means the code after the if statements will be executed, and false means the code after the if statements will not be executed. So here, if, what I need to check, input dot get button down. Before we used .get key down. The difference between them, with get key down, we specify the key, but get button down, we work based on the input defined inside Unity, and I'm going to show them to you in a minute. But before, here I need to define the jump between two double quotation, of course. And if this means if the user click to jump, then the jump, but focus here, the jump must be capital, because this is refers to the input in Unity, not this variable. This variable to define whether the jump true or false to make the jump. So here the jump is small because I want to change the value of this variable, equal what? Equal true. That means if the player clicked to jump, then the jump will be true. And after the jump, I want to reset the jump because the jump I want it to happen for one time, not keep happening. So here at the end of the code, I need to add the code also, jump equal false to reset the value to put it back to false. But here, this code inside the update not start. Why is that? Because I want the system to keep checking these codes. I don't need to add them inside the fixed update. Before I continue working on, I finish the crouch things, let me show you what does the object and the horizontal means. And the crouch, I'm going to add the crouch same. And focus here, we are not talking about the variables we defined here. These are different. Here we are working with the input in Unity. First of all, let me click on save. And before I continue, as I said, why we use the input.get button, not input.get key? Because input.get button are much useful for us. By using the input.get button, as you see here in the edit project settings, we have input manager. Inside the input manager, you can see all of these things are already defined. For example, the horizontal, we have left and right, and we have A and D on keyboard. These are already defined. So I called the name of the movement. If I want to change the key, I can just change it from here. I don't need to go to the script and change it again and again. And that's not only for the movement left and right. Also here, if you can see, we have input for firing and for crouch and for many other things. Here we have, for example, we have for jump. Jump, the specified button is double space. I can from here change it, for example, to W. If I want to do that, I can just click on W and it will be changed. So now the jumping will be W, not space. I can change it again. And also, it seems that I don't have the crouch here. So I'm going to add it by myself. And as I said, adding the input from here will be much helpful for us, especially in the future if you want to work with developing something for a game. You don't need to go back to change the code. All you need is to change the input from here. So working with the input and get button better than working with getting key. Let me duplicate this one. Right click, duplicate array element. And here I'm going to change the name, crouch. And here I'm going to make it S on keyboard. I'm going to make it S on keyboard. S small. And here the jump, W. No need to write it in capital letter. And the system is going to take it. Now I have the crouch also defined. I can use, if I didn't define it here, when I write the code for crouch, if I click on play, then it will give me an error that this input are not exist inside the input manager. In the future, if I want to change anything of the input, I can change it from here. So let me close it and go back to the script. And here, down here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate this code here. Now, before I check the jump here, I need to check the crouch and focus. This refers to the input, not to the variable here. Also here, if the user click to crouch, then I need to change the crouch, the variable I have, to true again. And once the user Lift the key, I want to stop the crouching. The jumping happens for one time, because of that I added here. For the crouching, I want to change it once the player remove his finger on from the key. How to do that? I'm going to duplicate this code, but instead of key get button down, get button up, the true once the player, as I said, moved his finger on the button. I want to set the crouching situation to false again. And here, else if. That means if this statement didn't work, then the system will check this again. And as I said, between these two brackets, the value will be true or false. Because of that, we use the booleans. Also, we use it to state that this code will be executed or not. So here, based on what is mentioned here, if the crouch sends a true to the other scripts, then the crouching will happen. If it falls, then it will stop. Also, the jumping same, and focus on the difference between the variable I defined here and the input I defined here. Let me click on save and go back here. And before I do anything, I need to link the new script also to the player, as you see. And I told you I defined a controller. I'm going to add this other script inside it to link the two scripts together. I have the run speed here. As I said, I can change it to change the speeds of and the movement of the character. For now, for the crouch, the character will not sit down because I still didn't define the animations for all of these movements. So the character now is just going to move left and right and jump. And the settings, the only things is going to happen with the crouch is the collider here at the top is going to be disabled when I click on the as for setting or crouching. Now let me click on play to check. I'm going to use the W for jumping, and D and A for moving left and right. Let me check again. Okay, didn't work. Let me check why. Uh, but it's better to make the gravity 3, but that's not the problem. Yeah, I have problem. The ground, the GR should be at the bottom, and the ceiling should be at the top. Let me check if I put them correctly here. Yeah, now it should work fine. And the flipping, by the way, the character will be flipping, and that's because it's already included in the script and the character controller to the script, as we see. And we have the jump here, the setting. Click, see when I click on S on keyboard, the box collider will be disabled, as I said. And I can increase the jump force. For example, I can make it 600. And the approach speed, the movement smoothing, the run speed, if I make it 60, it will be faster. I change it to 10, it will be slower. Let me keep it 40. And this one, we put it back for 400. In the future, we might change it. But this is how we control character, how we prepare the script for controlling the character. And for the character control, I prepared the script based on W, A, S, and D keys. And inshallah, next tutorial, I will explain how to add the animations for the character movements. For example, when the character walks, it shows a walk cycle. When it sits, it shows the character settings. And when jump, also I change the character appearance. All of that will be explained in next tutorial, inshallah. That's it for today, and thank you. See you next time, inshallah.